for transformation of the whole person. As her interest in Theosophy deepened, she allowed her membership of the Fabian Society to lapse and broke her links with the Marxists. When Blavatsky died in 1891, Annie was left as one of the leading figures in Theosophy. Her most important public commitment to the faith came in 1893 when she went to present it at the Chicago World Fair. Soon after becoming a member of the Theosophical Society, she went to India for the first time in 1893. After a dispute in which William Quan Judge, leader of the American section, was accused of falsifying letters from the masters, the American section split away. The remainder of the society was then led by Henry Still Olcott and Besant and is today based in Chennai, India, and is known as the Theosophical Society Adyar. Thereafter, she devoted much of her energy not only to this society, but also to India's freedom and progress. And yeah, the reason I just bring her up is it's very interesting how she just kind of she didn't know much about him. She just reads the book Secret Doctrine, and then she meets Blavatsky, and this just ultimately just turns her life over, just like that. It shows these people they definitely have powers of manipulating people. In fact, when you read Externalization of the Hierarchy, it is extremely just well written, and it makes you wonder, and if they really are channeling this from other entities, if these are some sort of, call it whatever you will, call it demonic, call it just supernatural entities that are ultimately, who they're speaking for, and that's why it is just amazingly well written. And either way, it's has a lot of power to it. So there's a section in the book also talks about the New World Religion, and they talk about the reappearance of the Christ. They always say the Christ. They think there's many Christs, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I'm just trying to find any more interesting quotes I have in here. So this is section, the New World Religion. And the New World Religion must be based upon those truths which have stood the test of the ages. This I said elsewhere and enumerated 4 of these truths. The fact of God, man's relationship to God, the fact of immortality and eternal persistence, the continuity of revelation and the divine approaches. These 4 facts are basic realities and truths which have conditioned masses of men for eons. Human unhappiness is founded primarily upon man's inability to live fully in the consciousness of these 4 fundamental realizations. But they are steadily taking shape in human thinking, and for them the United Nations fight. It's kind of funny, it says United Nations. And then it has 2 more. Oh, it looks like, actually, sorry, we got another caller. Just one second. Area code 443, I'm going to be putting you on right now. Hello, area code 443, are you there?
Hey, Ed, what's up? It's good to talk to you, man. This is Garrett. We've talked a few times in email and YouTube and whatnot.
Oh, awesome, man. Do you mind saying your YouTube name so I might know who you are?
Well, I have 2. Hive Mind 1984 is my
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Not bad, man. Good show tonight. Interesting subject material. I feel kind of like, a little bad calling because it's such a short show, but so I'll try to make this quick here, but I just wanted to say that it's interesting what you're talking about, and I think the subject of channeling is especially interesting, because, obviously, you look at some of these videos and stuff on YouTube, like Bashar is one, Oaspe is a channel text that I find kind of interesting. It's like 4/5 the size of the King James Bible, and it was supposedly written while the guy wasn't even looking at the typewriter. So it's kind of like, where does all this stuff come from,
Yeah, I know. What were those things you're mentioning?
The book?
Yeah.
4/5 of the King James Bible, that's Oaspe. OAHSPE, and that's one that kind of caught my interest a while ago. And I haven't read much of it, but just the fact that a book of that length could be written, in a semi-conscious state is pretty amazing.
No, that is.
And also, sorry, I just want to be quick. Let you.
No, go ahead.
I had another. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm actually, near from Maryland, and we have a pretty cool place that it's like a free book place in the city, and I go there and find some pretty interesting stuff. And I actually have an Alice Bailey book here called Esoteric Psychology 1.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. I was just flipping through that last night, and I found a kind of interesting quote that I wanted to share with you all.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. One thing I will say, sad though it may seem to you to be, there is no immediate solution to the problem of sex with which we are at this time confronted. For ages, men have misused and wrongly employed a God-given function. They have prostituted their birthright, and through their laxity and license, and through their lack of control, they have inaugurated an era of disease, both mental and physical, of wrong attitudes and illusory relations, which it will take several centuries to eradicate. And then she goes on to talk about how, through the irresponsible herd, I guess, as they view it, breeding and misusing our God-given power, our sexual power, that we have incarnated too many beings or something here that are ready.
Wow. So she was talking about overpopulation back then.
Yeah. So.
No, man, that is crazy. Yeah, it's this total mindset of the New World Order elite. That's really impressive. It just shows me I need to read more of her writings, because to be honest, only one I actually own, like I mentioned earlier, is Externalization of the Hierarchy. So, yeah, it sounds like it's almost like she was laying out, this whole mindset of the New World Order elite. That was amazing. That was a good quote.
Oh yeah, man, and like you said, they're definitely in communication with some kind of force or what have you. No one really knows. I mean, your guess is as good as mine, right? But I think just something that I kind of feel is important to say when touching on this whole subject is I've talked to Theosophists and stuff, and and been on Theosophist message boards, and there's definitely people who are aware of the New World Order and such. And then there's also the ones who have more liberal mindset and are well, I had one person tell me that they believe the New World Order is just, our growing global responsibility in an ever-shrinking global community. And I was okay, obviously, somehow, it works out in their mind. They just don't even think of microchips and, CCTV cameras, watching you everywhere you go. It's just this happy, fluffy utopia to them. So I don't know how people, obviously, I think that comes to some degree from, listening to what these people have to say and stuff.
Yeah, that's funny. See, the fact that some just, normal, everyday person could actually defend the New World Order when they have no idea what's in store for them down the line, It's this all goes back to people defending their captors and saying, yeah, that's amazing to me. It's like they think they're going to be part of the New World Order elite. Yeah, right. They're going to be swept under the rug. They're going to be cast aside. If they're going to be exterminated with 90% of the population like the rest of us, which is ultimately what they want. So the fact that they can defend that is amazing to me. Yeah.
Yeah, when someone I was talking to, communicating with online said that to me, I was just kind of wow, blown away by it. I didn't really know what to say. I wasn't going to try to convince them otherwise, But
yeah.
But hey, it was good talking to you, man. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say some stuff, and I'll let you continue. And
cool.
Good job, man. Keep up.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks. Later.
Bye. All right. 1 second, and I think I'm talking to Jeff behind the scenes right now, but looks like we have another caller on the line. Just 1 second. Area code 513, you're on the line.
Back again, Ed. You are tearing this up tonight. Theosophy, the New World Order. They are the twin serpent, the caduceus, the classic medical, symbol snake. They're the two heads of the same beast, and this all-seeing eye that was given to Henry Wallace, the secretary under Franklin Roosevelt, and he later became the 33rd vice president of the United States. That one is for the numerologists of the group. But the seal was the ancient seal, but it was given to put on the back of that dollar bill, which, of course, you and Ralph Epperson covered excellent again at the September 16th, I believe it was, blackhelicopterradio.com with Ralph Epperson and Ed Walker, a powerful interview, one of the elegant speakers about this dark New World Order. But thank you, Ed, for what you're speaking about tonight. I think people need to understand what the externalization of the hierarchy means to the New World Order elitist scum, that they want to imprison us in every prison imaginable. It is the most unspeakable shame. When one gets down to it, the New World Order is the most unspeakable, shameful, criminal, treacherous, murderous act that's ever been purported to happen to a people. And we have to consciously awake to its nemesis of us, and we have to fight it tooth and nail on every plane and field of our being.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. And it's all about knowing your enemy. So it can be a little harsh to read the writings of the New World Order Illuminati scumbags. Hearing them talk about how we're all scum and we need to be killed and controlled and manipulated. But in order to really understand what they're shooting for, it is important. That's why I read the text directly from the horse's mouth. That's why I read Edward Bernay's propaganda. That's why I'm reading externalization of the hierarchy. That's why I read books by Brzezinski. All the New World Order scum. It's really, really important to read what they say, and very revealing. So imagine some of the quotes we have of what they are saying. Just imagine the things they aren't saying. I mean, they'll say things like, we're setting up a New World Order, through a crisis. We just need the right crisis to set up the New World Order. The New World Order will come in on a sea of blood. These are all quotes from the New World Order elite. So just imagine the things they aren't, that we don't know what they're saying and what they're not writing down in their books and memoirs and such. So
I agree 100%, Ed. I agree. Dude, this is an excellent show. And like I said, I'm just going to hush and you continue, sir, please.
All right. It was good talking to you, Bob.
90 seconds.
You too, sir. Thanks, guys. Have a great evening.
See ya. All right. So, yeah, that was my basically 1 minute warning there. So, be just wrapping it up now. So, yeah, this was my first live Black Helicopter Radio with just me. I did do a Black Helicopter Radio live with Jeff, interviewing him about corporatism, which if you want to watch any of these old broadcasts, just go to blackhelicopterradio.com and check them out.
60 seconds.
I did an interview with Chris White recently, which turned out pretty good. I do have an upcoming guest, but I don't want to announce it until I definitely get it set. It's a big guest, so you guys just look for updates, blackhelicopterradio.com. With that being said, blackhelicopterradio.com. Also check out www.blogtalkradio.com/antimatterzone is for Blog Talk, and we have mine and the Next Step Radio, Jacob Appelman's radio show is also on there, so make sure to check that out. I think that'll do it for tonight. Thanks for the people calling in. You guys were great. This was just the first show I've done on Theosophy, but trust me, I'm going to be covering this more. I just realized there's more and more I need to find out, just like those quotes that Hive Mind, I believe his channel is Hive Mind 1984 told me, and I will see you guys later. It makes you wonder, and if they really are channeling this from other entities, if these are some sort of, call it whatever you will, call it demonic, call it just supernatural entities that are ultimately, who they're speaking for, and that's why it is just amazingly well written. Either way, it's has a lot of power to it. So there's a section in the book also talks about the New World Religion, and they talk about the reappearance of the Christ. They always say the Christ. They think there's many Christs, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I'm just trying to find any more interesting quotes I have in here. So this is section, the New World Religion. And the New World Religion must be based upon those truths which have stood the test of the ages. This I said elsewhere and enumerated 4 of these truths. The quest for transformation of the whole person. As her interest in Theosophy deepened, she allowed her membership of the Fabian Society to lapse, and broke her links with the Marxists. When Blavatsky died in 1891, Annie was left as one of the leading figures in Theosophy. Her most important public commitment to the faith came in 1893 when she went to present it at the Chicago World Fair, soon after becoming a member of the Theosophical Society of India's Freedom and Progress. And yeah, the reason I just bring her up is it's very interesting how she just kind of she didn't know much about him. She just reads the book Secret Doctrine, and then she meets Blavatsky, and this just ultimately just turns her life over, just like that. It shows these people they definitely have powers of manipulating people. In fact, when you read Externalization of the Hierarchy, it is extremely just well written. And society, she went to India for the first time in 1893 after a dispute in which William Quan Judge, leader of the American section, was accused of falsifying letters from the masters. The American section split away. The remainder of the society was then led by Henry Still Olcott and Besant, and is today based in Chennai, India, and is known as the Theosophical Society Adyar. Thereafter, she devoted much of her energy not only to this society,